Going on, basketball fans? We finished day 2 of the 2014-2015 NBA season. We had around maybe 10 games yesterday, and Andrew Wiggins and Jabari Parker and Zach LaVine had their NBA debuts in the regular season. Now, they didn't play too well. Andrew Wiggins only with 6 points, Jabari Parker only with 8. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And Zach LaVine, he did not play at all. So I don't know why he didn't play, but we'll talk about that. So they lost to the Memphis Grizzlies, 105-101. Thaddeus Young had 26 points. Zebo had 25. Marcus All freaking beasted with 32 points. Mike Conley with 16 and Courtney Lee with 14. This Memphis Grizzlies team is going to be really good, like they were 2 years ago when they had Rudy Gay. 3 years ago when they had Rudy Gay, when they were like first in the West for like the first half of the season. Now I don't think it's going to last all the way into the playoffs. I think they'll make it like to the first round, maybe semifinals at most. But then after that, they're going to get the boot by OKC or San Antonio or Dallas, because Dallas is a really good team. Let's talk about Philadelphia and Indiana. So Indiana wins 103-91, outscoring the Philadelphia 76ers. Oh, sorry for that. Outscoring the Philadelphia 76ers in first, third, and fourth quarter. Philly had a total of 42 total rebounds, 11 turnovers, 19 fast break points, and 48 points in the paint, while Indiana had 50 total rebounds, 17 turnovers, 13 fast break points, with 32 points in the paint. Now, can Indiana still be good without Paul George? I don't think they'll be as good. I think they'll be like the 6th or 7th seed in the East. But they still have some great players. Louis Scola, CJ Miles, Darren Sloan. If Roy Hibbert plays well, which he did last night, he had 22 points and 8 rebounds. If he continues to play like that, Chris Copeland had 11. Rodney Stuckey had 16. So if they continue to play like that, they're gonna be a great team. But the sad thing is David West is also injured. He has a sprained right ankle, so we're gonna see how that's gonna turn out. But they played well last night, but against a mediocre team though. So we're gonna have to see what the deal is and what's going on with that. But let's talk about the Boston Celtics versus my New Jersey Nets. The Brooklyn Nets. Celtics win 121-105, outscoring the Nets in the first 3 quarters. The Nets almost came back, though. They scored 33 in the fourth quarter. Brooklyn had 39 total rebounds, 20 turnovers. That's way too much. 11 fast break points and 40 points in the paint. Boston had 35 total rebounds, 12 turnovers, biggest lead of 29, which is bananas, and 62 points in the paint. Now, this team isn't going to be a great team, but, they're going to surprise some people. They're not going to be as bad as people really think. I mean, they still got Jeff Green, Rondo, Avery Bradley, Olenek, Jared Sullinger, Tyler Zeller. So they're going to be a solid team. Maybe, not a playoff team, but they're not going to be mediocre 14, 15. I say they'll be around 10 or 11, maybe 9 at most. At best. Jeff Green had 17, Sullinger had 13, Olenek had 19, Avery Bradley had 15. Rondo almost had a triple-double, 13, 7, and 12, 13.7 rebounds and 12 assists. That's Rondo. That's just who Rondo is, you know what I'm saying? And Miami Heat, they surprised a lot of people last night. I don't know why it was such a big surprise. I already knew Miami was going to be such a great team. They beat the Washington Wizards, who's also a pretty solid team this year, 107-95. Now, Miami's going to be a really scary team. I'm telling you guys now. Chris Bosh had I think he had 15 rebounds, 26 points. 15 rebounds, vintage Bosh right there. We had Dwayne Wade with 21 points and 3 assists. We had Luol Deng with 12 points. You see, if Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade can play like that on a nightly basis, they're going to be a great team. The reason why they really won this game, the X factor, was Norris Cole coming off the bench with 23 points, shooting 3 of 7 from downtown, 9 of 15 from the field, shooting well. Paul Pierce in his Washington Wizards debut had 17 points and 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Drew Gooden had 18 and 5. Marcin Gortat had 18 and 7. John Wall had 16 and 11. Good job, John Wall. Corey Temple had 6 points. Otto Porter Jr. had 13. And unfortunately for them, Bradley Beal is injured, which sucks because he's such a great player, up and coming player. But Miami's gonna be well. They're gonna be a great team. I'm not surprised at all by Miami's performance last night. They're just a great team. All right, so let's talk about the Toronto Raptors versus the Atlanta Hawks. Toronto wins 109-102, outscoring the Atlanta Hawks in all 4 quarters. So what do you expect? Atlanta with 42 total rebounds, 17 turnovers, 10 fast break points, and 36 points in the paint, while Toronto had 48 total rebounds, 9 turnovers, which is really good. They didn't even hit double figures in turnovers. That's really good. They also had 18 fast break points, biggest lead of 19, and points in the paint with 40. Check this out. Atlanta's biggest lead was only 1. So that just goes to show you how much better the Toronto Raptors are than people say they are, because they're a really good team, and I'm pumped to see how they're going to continue to play. So we'll see. So I think I talked about Memphis and Minnesota, but if I didn't, I'm just gonna say Memphis won 105-101 with Marc Gasol beasting and feasting. He had Zebo had 25 points and 13 rebounds. Marc Gasol had 32 points and 9 rebounds. So they're playing well. Let's talk about the Chicago Bulls versus the New York Knicks. Okay, so the New York Knicks, Melo, he's not used to playing in this triangle offense. I was watching the game last night, and he looked like he was on ice skates. There was times when he was disoriented. There was times when the entire Knicks team looked disoriented and discombobulated. And there were times when they were looking good in the first quarter, but then after that, it was just like, wait, what? So they were doing triangle offense. Melo, he's not used to playing off the ball. That's what the problem is, in my opinion. He's not used to playing off the ball. He's used to isolating in the post, and the offense works around him. But now the offense is working around all 5 players, and it's a pass-first system. And he's not used to that. He's used to just chucking up shots. And it's pretty sad, because there was a point when the New York Knicks were down by 35 points. So that's pretty sad. Melo only had 14 points, and that was the leading scorer for the Knicks. So it just shows you that they didn't play good at all last night. But Pau Gasol in his Chicago Bull debut had 21 points. Mike Dunleavy didn't score at all. He shot 0 of 5 from the field, missed a wide open layup. Joakim Noah with only 3 points, but he also did have 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Then you have Kirk Heinrich with 12 points, Derrick Rose with 13 points, 3 rebounds and 5 assists. Aaron Brooks coming off the bench with 13 points, Taj Gibson with 22. Doug McDermott did better than Jabari Parker and Andrew Wiggins in his NBA debut with 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. This guy is going to be an all-star, maybe even a superstar in the future, because he's such a great player. And, I just feel like he should have been picked over Andrew Wiggins and Jabari Parker. But that's just my opinion. Let's go ahead with Denver versus Detroit. Denver wins 89-79, outscoring Detroit in all 4 quarters. Not really surprised about that. It was a really good game. We had Josh Smith with 25 points. You also had Andre Drummond with 11. It's gonna be tough for Stan Van Gundy to turn this Detroit Pistons team around, but they have so much potential. That's a sad thing. They have Andre Drummond, Josh Smith, Caldwell Pope, Brandon Jennings, Caron Butler, DJ Augustin, Jonas Jerebko, Greg Monroe. They have so many good teams. Greg Monroe is on an NBA suspension, by the way, for driving while intoxicated like a dumbass. And then finally, Danilo Gallinari's back, but he only scored 7 points, shot 1 of 8 from the field. He's probably a little rusty because he hasn't played in over a year. We had Kenneth Faried with 22, Timothy Mozgov with 13, Aaron Aflalo with 15, Ty Lawson with only 3, and Nate Robinson with only 3. So they played well though, 89-79, and Denver took that one. Houston beat Utah 104-93. Not really a surprise, because Houston's such a great team. Even though they didn't out-rebound Utah, which usually, decides the winner. They didn't out-rebound Utah, but they still won. Trevor Ariza with 20 points, Dwight Howard with 22 and 10. And then you also have James Harden freaking looking like a beast out there with 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists. He's in the MVP discussion. He's not going to win because LeBron James and Kevin Durant are still in the NBA, but he's in discussion. So that's great. So Houston's going to be the team to watch this year, guys. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns versus Los Angeles Lakers and the altercation between Kobe and Eric Bledsoe. Got Eric Bledsoe kicked out of the game, double teed and kicked out. 119-99. Lakers are 0-2 to start the season. And Phoenix just play. Phoenix, oh my man, they're such a great team. You got the Morris brothers, you got Mason Plumlee, Goran Dragic, Eric Bledsoe, Anthony Len, Isaiah Thomas, and Gerald Green, and Goodwin. They're going to be such a great team. Isaiah Thomas had 23 points. Remember, he's 5'8", by the way. He had 23 points. Goran Dragic had 18. Eric Bledsoe had 16 as well. These guys, that backcourt is just freaking amazing. So Phoenix Suns a team to watch as well this year. They're going to be great. Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors versus the Sacramento Kings. Golden State wins 95-77. Rudy Gay, I feel bad for him, man, because he had potential to be a superstar, but, he was playing on Memphis, but then they traded him for some reason. I don't know why. They could have won a championship with Zebo, Gasol, Rudy Gay, Mike Conley, and Courtney Lee, because, remember, they were first in the West for, first 5-6 months of the season, but that's whatever. That was 3 years ago, by the way, 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, so Golden State wins. Klay Thompson with 19. Steph Curry looking like a beast out there with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. What's up with these point guards getting all these rebounds nowadays? It's pretty crazy. Let's go on with the Oklahoma City Thunder missing out with Kevin Durant versus the Portland Trailblazers. Portland wins 106-89. Unfortunately, KD is still injured. He's going to be injured. But Russell Westbrook dropped 38, but they still lost because he didn't have anyone else really. Serge Ibaka only had 10, and Thomas only had 14. And besides that, right now they're on a 2-4-6. I think it's like a 9-man rotation, so they have no depth right now. So they're not going to be a great team until KD comes back. And they weren't even a great team when KD was there. They were only great because of KD and Westbrook and Ibaka, really. If you think about it, they have no great role players. I mean, Jeremy Lamb, he's okay. Reggie Jackson, yeah, but they're all injured, So, so it's going to be tough for them this year. It's going to be a tough year for them. And I'm pretty sure KD's going to go back to Washington. Anyway, Portland, Nicholas Batum with 16. LaMarcus Aldridge beasting with 27. Robin Lopez, with 11 and 10. Wesley Matthews had 22. Damian Lillard had 10 points and 5 assists. And, Chris Kaman had 12 points in his Trailblazer debut. So that's going to wrap it up for today. That was a daily recap of yesterday. It was pretty good. And hopefully you guys enjoyed.